1, 2, 3 properly. And every now and then he finds a way of going around it, but it is always all fun. So welcome. I don't take the fact that you invest every week in data and time to be with us for granted. To all of you who joined in celebrating me and my birthday last Friday, I am so, so happy. I'm so grateful and thankful to every one of you, every single one of you. And I pray that you continue, God will continue to bless and keep and sustain and prosper you. And I pray for your sake that God will give me the strength to continue to serve you, because serving you gives me so much joy. It is a thing that keeps me going, and I'm grateful I have the opportunity to serve you. So thank you very much. Today, we're going to look at when I say I love you. I love you is said so many times. It's thrown around. But what does it mean, really mean, when you say to somebody, I love you? I love you is one of the most confusing and misused sentence in the English language. For instance, we say to the people in our lives, the special person in our life, I love you. And then we also say the same thing about the shoe. I love these shoes. I love ice cream. Are they the same? No, they are not the same. Now, what does it mean when somebody says, I love these shoes? What they are saying is that I like them very much until a better one comes around. That is not quite the same when we are talking to a person. So today, we're going to look at what do people mean when they say, I love you. And I'm looking at it in the narrow romantic sense, not in the bigger one when a child says to the father, I love you, or a parent says to the child, I love you. That is in a different category. That one has no controversy. It leaves no room for confusion. It is when somebody says to another person, I love you, in the romantic sense, that is where the issues come. So we'll look at 10 things people want to say and they don't say it, and instead they say, I love you. There are things they need to say. That's what they want to say, but they are not able to say it, so they say, I love you. So when some people say, I love you, you must interpret it in one of these ways, and I'm giving you 10. 1, I need you. I need you. What they should have said is, I need you. They couldn't say, I need you, so they said, I love you. And what do they need? Well, I need you to validate me. I need you so I'll feel good about myself. I need to be able to say, you belong to me, so I'll feel good about myself. So I'll feel that somebody also found me worth something. I need you to save me from feeling lonely. I don't like being alone. I need you. So I won't be that lonely. And then the favorite among the I need you, I need your money. I need your money. But they can't come and say, I need your money. They will say, I love you. And they are hoping that when they say, I love you, you open your wallet and dish the money out. The second thing people mean when they say, I love you, in other words, the other thing they should have been saying, but they cannot say, they don't say, and rather say, I love you, is, I want you. I want to touch you. I want to have sex with you. In a lot of cases, when a young man goes to a young lady and says, I love you, what he's really saying is that, right now, I can't wait to get my hands on you in bed. But they can't say that. They can't say that, can I take you to bed? They know you slap them. So they will say, I love you. The third one is, when they say, I love you, what they should have been saying is that, you are the only one who understands me. You are the only one who understands me. Now, for me, that is the most frightening statement. If of all the people in your life, the people from your family, the people you went to school with, the people in your church, the people in your office, I am the only one who understands you, then you are a frightening human being. There's something wrong. there's something wrong. And quite often we feel good when somebody tells us, oh, you are the only one who understands me. What we should do is to be alarmed. How come I'm the only one who understands you? And are you really sure I understand you? 4, when we say I love you, what we should have been saying, I did not have a life until you came along. I had no life until you came along. That is why all my time is spent on you. All my time I call, I text, and fight you, because I did not have a life till you came along. 5, you make me come alive. I like, some of these things, they are good to hear, but they are nonsense. Nonsense. 6, without you, I don't want to live. Really? So, when I die, you die too. It's like those who go to the cemetery and cry, Minobeko, I'll go with you, I'll go with you. And then you shove them towards the grave, and they turn on you and say, why? Do you want to kill me? Well, I thought you said you wanted to go. 7, you make me happy. Oh, we are happy to hear somebody say, oh, you know something, you make me happy. Really? No. 8, when people say, I love you, this is what sometimes they mean. I want something from you. What they want, I'll leave it to your imagination. 9, I love you, when they should have been saying, I know it makes you happy to hear me say it. So I'm saying it because you are happy to hear it. And 10, I say it because it disarms you. When I say I love you, I know you become warm and soft towards me, and then you don't fight me anymore. Now, it is interesting that at various stages in our relationships, when we say I love you, it means different things. And I'm just giving you a sample. In the initial stages, when we meet somebody at a party that we like, and we say I love you, what we say is that I find you attractive. Well, that's what we mean. Or I find you interesting. Or in the case of the adventurous, oh, I want to go to bed with you right now, if it's possible. Or I love you because you have raised my hopes of an exciting evening, of exciting time. During dating and courtship, it takes on a little bit of a different meaning. I love you then comes to mean I still like you, or I am thinking of a future with you, or I cannot imagine life without you, or, I want you. I want you. And then in the early days, when courtship becomes marriage, in the early days of marriage, when the couple say to each other, I love you, it could mean, I'm excited. I'm excited. Or, I can't believe I am married. Or, the other one, I can't believe you married me. Or, I can't believe I got you to marry me. Or, I am happy. Or, sex is great. Sex with you is great. 5 years into the marriage, what does I love you, what new meaning does it take? It takes on this meaning, I keep my word. So I'm saying, I love you because I keep my word. Or, I love you, and what I mean is that I am responsible, I am reliable, I like our life together. Or, I'm saying it because it is the right thing to say. Everybody says, you should tell your wife, I love you, so I'm saying it. Or, I know it makes you happy. Or, and this is a difficult one, I want something. So I love you, but I want something. A man was telling me that anytime his wife tells him, my dear, I love you so much, he said his response is always, how much would it cost? How much? What do you need? The thing that you need from me, how much is it? Let's settle it right now. 20 years into the marriage, I love you begins to take another meaning. After 20 years, it can be something like, thank you for sticking with me. Or, I have nowhere else to go. I'm stuck. We are stuck with each other. Or, I'm glad you are still with me. Or, you still make me laugh. Or, I know I can trust you. There are circumstances and situations where you should not be using I love you. When you use it, you've used it it is wrong for you. You've lost the right to say I love you. Or this When you say I love you in these circumstances, it is not appropriate and it is not right. 1, and I'm giving you 12 of such instances. 1, when you don't love yourself. When you don't love yourself, never say to anybody, I love you. Because you can't give what you don't have. If you don't feel love for yourself, forget it. You are joking. You can't love anybody. 2, when you have proved false in an earlier relationship. Somewhere in this world is somebody you told with a lot of passion, I love you, and it's now nursing a broken heart. Because of that, you've lost the right to say I love you, because you've proved false. 3, when all you want is sex, don't say I love you. Just say what you want, but don't say I love you. You should not use it in those circumstances. 4, when all you want is marriage, and this goes as 3 goes for the men, and 4 goes for the women. When all you want is marriage, because there are girls who just want to get married. They never mind who, they just want to get married, and then when they think that you may give them marriage, then I love you. 5, when all you want is money or economic assistance. 6, when you are using the person you are saying I love you to just to make someone else jealous. 7, when you are still examining your options. You know, you have a busy guy, you have Sakina, you have so and so, and you are still trying to do C, Nanako, then you go, oh, I love you. No, don't do that. You are setting your own self up. 8, you can't say I love you when you don't respect the opposite sex. When you don't respect the opposite sex, you lose the right to say I love you. 9, when you don't respect the tribe or nationality of the person you are saying it to, you can't say I love you. You can't say I love you when you hate Fantis and you are saying it to me. And then say that, oh, but I don't love Fantis, I don't like Fantis, but you are different. Oh, I'm a Fanti. Let's deal with that first. 10, you can't say I love you when you haven't gotten over your ex, because your heart is somewhere else. 11, you can't say I love you when you don't mean it. There are young people in particular who just say I love you because they know it is nice to say. They are dangerous to their emotions. 12, when you are using it to manipulate the person you are speaking to. Oh, you know, I love you. And it's because you don't want her to ask the questions about where you were last night. So at that time, you are not. Now, so let's break the words down. The words in the statements. 3 words. I love you. Let's break it down. Let's begin with I, me. What am I saying? Human being. I'm a human being with my hopes and aspirations, with my strengths and weaknesses, and without any pressure. I, understanding what I am doing, mature enough to know the meaning of the word I. The second, love, cherish, value, accept, commit to you, commit to sharing with you whatever I have, support. I admire you. When I say love, admire you, respect, honor. Love is a choice I make. When I say I love you, I'm saying that I have made a choice. This is my decision. Then you, another human being, a whole human being, an individual with your hopes and aspirations, with your strengths and weaknesses, with your fears and insecurities, with your history. You. Not perfect, but you. In other words, all you are, all you have been, all you can be, all you will still be, you. You capable of returning this love that I'm offering you. All of you. That is what it means when I say, I love you. So we've broken the words down. So now let's apply it. What does it mean when I say, I love you? 1, and I'm giving you 20 points. 1, it means, first and foremost, I love myself. It's not, I'm sure this will surprise you. When you say to somebody, I love you, you must be saying, I love myself first. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't love another person. 2, I'm a full human being who can survive and do all right without you. That's what I'm saying. When I say I love you, I'm saying I don't get it wrong. I am okay. I am a full human being. I can survive and do all right without you. 3, I respect myself when I say I love you. That's what I mean. 4, I am also saying that I have a positive self-image. In other words, I believe I am worth loving. I am able to love and I am worth someone's love. Positive self-image. 5, I cherish and value you. 6, I respect you. 7, I choose you over all the others I could have gone for. When I say I love you, it doesn't mean that there weren't other people. But knowing all the options that are there, I have shut my mind to all the other options and I'm saying, you are my choice. 8, I allow you to be yourself. In other words, when I say I love you, I'm saying that with me, you can be yourself. I appreciate all that you are. I appreciate everything you do. And I give you room to grow and to stretch and to just be yourself. That is what I love you means. 9, I will not ever want to hurt you or see you sad. 10, I share my life with you. When I say I love you, I am going to share my life with you. 11, I accept you, all of you, not some of you, all of you. 12, I will never stand in the way of your happiness. In other words, I want you to have the freedom to do whatever makes you happy and whatever makes you who you are. 13, I will always treat you as a special part of my being, of my life, as a special part. 14, you can count on me. That's what it means. When I say I love you, I'm saying you can count on me. 15, I'm perfectly fine on my own, but you bring color to my life. You don't give me the life, but you bring color to my life. 16, I choose to be with you, not because I have to, or because I need you, but because I have chosen to it. Whenever you need somebody, you don't love that person. You can't love what you need. We love what we don't need. What you need is a different thing. Then it becomes possessive, it becomes something else. 17, I want to be the best for you. When I say to somebody, I love you, I'm saying that I want to be the best for you. In other words, anytime you see me or hear of me, I want you to smile and say, yeah, that's a guy who loves me. That's my person. 18, I'm letting you go because that is the kind of love you deserve, the kind that won't hold you down. In other words, I don't intend to hold you down. I don't want to ever hold you down, and I never want to hold you back. I want you to fly. I want you to be all you are. You know, sometimes when people say I love you, they are like people who are holding a cage and they want to get a bird and put inside. And then they say, I like the bird. No, if you like the bird, release it. Let it fly. Then you like the bird. 19, when I say I love you, this is what I mean. You are important to me, and I'll factor you in every decision that I make in my life. 20, I thank God for your presence in my life. There are signs that show that you don't mean the statement, I love you. And I'm going to give you 20 signs. 1, you don't love yourself. So when you say I love you, you don't mean it. 2, you have said it to others previously and you have not lived up to the expectations. 3, you don't want to meet your beloved's people, that is the family or friends. You can't say I love you to somebody and you don't want to meet his or her people. You are not interested in his or her friends. Then you don't mean it. You don't mean that I love you. 4, you only say it when you want something. When you want money, when you want sex. 5, you are saying it to more than one person at a time. So today, right now, you are with a busy girl, I love you so much. Then the phone rings and you, excuse me, you go to the loo. Oh, my dear, I love you too, I love you. No, you don't mean that I love you are saying to either of them. 6, You don't treat the person you are saying I love you to with respect. When you are rude to the person, when you are disrespectful to the person, your I love you is false. It means nothing. You don't mean it. 7, when you are abusive. When you are abusive to that person and of that person, you don't mean what you are saying. 8, when you are not interested in the person's views and concerns, you can't mean I love you. 9, when you betray that person's trust. 10, when you don't trust that person, can't say I love you, but I don't trust you. I love you, but I would still search your pocket and I'll go through your phone and ask you odd questions. 11, when you are holding back, you are holding the person back. You don't want the person to do anything that will make him or her go forward. Then your I love you means nothing. 12, when you are critical of that person. When you love somebody, you don't criticize them. You lose the right. You give up the right because you accept them for who they are. 13, you want to change that person. You want to change that person. No, then you don't love the person. 14, you tell others about his or her faults. 15, you disgrace the person in public. 16, you are not interested in that person's dreams. You can't mean it when you say I love you. 17, when you are emotionally unavailable to that person, you can't say I love you. 18, when you allow third parties to disrespect this person, then you can't say I love this person. If you love this person, you protect the person, and you make it impossible even for your own mother to disrespect this person. 19, when you spend more time with somebody else, you can't be saying I love you to somebody and be spending all your time with another person. Then you don't really mean it. And 20, for the married couples, when you cannot allow your spouse to touch you. When you come up with all excuses so that you won't allow your spouse to touch you, don't say I love you, because you don't. Now, having looked at when you don't mean it, signs that you don't mean it, let's look at 15 signs that you really mean it, 1, you still say I love you after we have had sex. You know, we've already, not just after we've gone across the line, but you are still saying I love you. You still call me and say you love me. Then there must be something in there, because quite often people say I love you when they want it. After it, they vanish. So if you are still saying it after it, then there must be something there. Maybe you are serious. That goes for the men, not the women. Women after sex would always say I love you. At that point, they love you. But not the men. 2, when you are kind to this person. 3, when you are thoughtful and sensitive to this person, then you mean what you are saying. 4, when you know that person's weaknesses and flaws and still accept them, then you love the person. When you are nice to that person's family. And 6, when you make the effort to get on well with his or her friends, then you are serious when you say I love you. 7, when you say it and show it with your actions. When it is not just words, but actions, little things that communicate to the person and then underscore and echo that statement that I love you. 8, when you look for ways to surprise your beloved. Don't say I love you and you've never surprised your beloved. Look for ways. It doesn't have to be expensive. Small things to surprise the person. 19, when you factor this person in your long-term plans. In other words, if you say I love you and you are planning to go abroad and study for 5 years and you haven't made provision for me to go with you, and you don't know how we're going to reconnect later on, then you don't mean it. But when you factor it, if you come and say that, I got a scholarship to go, but it will not make provision for you to join me, so I turn it down. Then I know you really love me. I said that if you say this to anybody and you go home and tell your people why you canceled the scholarship, they will curse you. 10, you try to change yourself for the sake of your beloved. Your beloved is not trying to change you, because then he can't be your beloved. But you know that this aspect of me, this character of mine, this behavior of mine doesn't really help us in this relationship. So I'm going to change for my beloved. Then when you say I love you, we know you mean it. 11, you love to see this person happy. When the person is happy, you are happy. Then you truly love the person. 12, you rather die than hurt that person or cause that person pain. 13, you make time for this person. You make time for this person. You can't say I love you when you don't have any time. You make time for this person. 14, when you share generously with this person, share your time, your resources, your views generously with this person. And 15, when you regard this person as the most important person in your life, even over your parents. Now, how to tell if someone does not mean that I love you, he's saying to you? Yes. There are people who say, I love you, and they don't mean it. How do you know the person? How can you tell whether the person means it or not? So 20 points when you know this person does not mean what he's saying. 1, when the person is rude to you and to your people. Your people meaning your family, your friends. Forget it. What he's telling you means nothing. 2, when the person is secretive or evasive. Secretive or evasive, then you know when he says I love you, you must know it is poison. 3, the person has you on a straight timetable. Let me explain what I mean by the person has you on a straight timetable. The person tells you that whenever you are coming to visit me, call me before you come. Or the person tells you, don't come to my house on Tuesdays. You can come on Monday evening, you can come on Thursday, but you can't come on Tuesday, you can't come on Wednesday, and Saturday don't come, Sunday you can come. When you are ever dealing with anybody who has you on a timetable like that, and that person is not the security guard for the president, then be aware, that person does not mean what he's saying. You are in very dangerous grounds. 4, when there's no communication. The person saying, I love you, but you don't talk. You don't make time to talk. Then no, there's nothing there. 5, when the expression of love is one way. The person saying, I love you, but you are the one who is showing all the signs, all the moves, all the action of love. That person, all he has is his word. I love you. 6, when the person is abusive towards you. 7, when the person does not want you to meet any of his people, in other words, you are a secret in his life, then I love you means nothing. Because if he really loves you, he will show you. He would. 8, when the person does not validate your pain, something has happened, you are upset, and you say, oh, but why are you upset? This one, why are you upset? Why can you be upset? He is not validating your pain. That person does not love you. If he loves you, oh, I'm sorry, this is not what I meant. I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean to cause you pain. But not, oh, get over it, get over it. What is that? No, the person is not validating your pain. 9, the person does not appreciate what you do for them. 10, the person does not trust you. When they say, I love you, no. They can't say, I love you and still say, I don't trust you. The two don't go together. 11, when the person is possessive. 12, when the person uses your past against you. Look, I shared my past with you because I thought you loved me. Now you are using it as a tool, as a weapon against me. No, you don't love me. 13, when the person neglects you. 14, when the person wants to change you, then the person doesn't love you. 15, when the person compares you unfavorably with somebody else, then there can't be love there. 16, when you are not part of his decision-making process and you are not part of his plans. 17, when there's no caring from that person shows no care. You know, the kind of person you can say that, I'm going to the hospital for an operation, and for 2 weeks you won't hear from that person. The person who loves you would follow up and find out, did the operation come on? How did it go? And come to visit you as well. But this person has not come to visit you, and then still says, I love you. No. 18, when the person makes no time for you. 19, when the person is nice and warm only when he wants something from you. You know, there are those who would kiss you only when you've given them money. And then they call you, oh, you are a darling. And after that, you won't be able to touch them. 20, when a person ridicules you and your dreams and puts you down. So that is our presentation for today, what it means when I say I love you. We'll broaden it, and we looked at when I love you means nothing, when you can just ignore it because the person doesn't know what he's saying. We've also looked at when you could say it, when you've lost the right to say it, and all that. And I hope that now you'll not open your mouth and say, I love you, without thinking about it, without asking yourself, what exactly do I want to convey with this? Well, I'd like to thank you for staying with us through this presentation. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, I'll take your questions, your comments, and then let the community get alive. One more time, I'd like to thank those who sent in messages last week. I appreciate what you did very much. You made the day very special to me, and I'm grateful.
I'm losing control on girls and fine, but them no fine pass you. Them want do the do, but them no do pass you. Jamaican girls them high, but them no high pass you. You make a one tree bangu, you know you would ever cool. Ade, mananti sa. Ade, mananti. Baby, would you believe if I tell you say you're the one for me, no one can take your place? Oh, would you believe if I tell you say you're the I'm losing control on girls and fine, but them no fine pass you. Them want do the do, but them no do pass you. Jamaican girls them high, but them no high pass you. You make a one tree bangu, you know you would ever cool. Ade, mananti sa. Ade.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us. I am grateful. Before I take your questions and comments, I do not know if you've heard, but on the 1st and 2nd of September, I'll be doing a one-man show at the National Theatre. And it's a show unlike any you've ever heard and ever watched. And the point is that it will be worth your while. You would be so full, so full. It will be a 2-hour well spent with me. So put it on your calendar, make provision for it. 1st and 2nd of September at the National Theatre. 2 days, 2 shows a day, and get ready. Just a warning. If you have weak ribs, don't come. If you are allergic to laughter, please don't come. If you're the kind of person who has constipation and therefore you can't laugh, go to your doctor first, because you'll be compelled to laugh, and you will laugh right through. In the coming days, I would always share one story that I'm going to use on that day. Some of the stories I can't say on camera because they will be for that day. But others I can say on camera, so I'll share some of them with you. All right, let's keep going.
We have a question from our YouTube channel from Rhoda. Uncle, please, what does it mean when a guy tells you, I feel something for you, but I can't tell you I love you at the moment?
It means that just the thought of you has given me an erection. But I can't, and that is all. I'm not too sure what Kojo Mensah is saying. Whether Kojo Mensah is misbehaving or it's an indication of something more than that. So that's what it means.
Naomi Okran said, "You have really enlightened us this afternoon. God bless you."
Well, you're welcome.
Nesbitt says, "Is it love when the relationship is one-sided, like the guy does all the checking and calling, or vice versa?"
No, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Either the other party hasn't come to the party yet and hasn't come to the same point, or you are dealing with a one-way street, and you better be careful.
Pawili asked, excuse me, how do we draw the line between respecting a gender and or a person or personality behind the gender? How do we draw the line between respecting a gender and the person or personality behind the gender?
In other words, are you asking, Pawili, when can we say I can't stand men, but then as for Kannison, I love Kannison? Is that what we are saying? Because you see, if you can't stand the gender, it will filter. It will come through. That attitude will come through in your dealings with this person that you say you love. Because whatever is making you decide that I don't like this gender will show up, and it will trip you up. So you better get over your disdain or dislike of that gender before you go in for a member of that gender. The same thing goes with tribe.
Prince Willie says, "Uncle, why do I feel so hard to tell my wife I love you, but so easy to tell my daughter I love you?"
Your daughter has no expectations of you. Your daughter will never ask you, "Are you sure?" Your wife may ask you, "Are you sure?" Indeed, at a certain point in your marriage, whenever you say "I love you" to your wife, that's the first question she will, "Are you sure?" Because you know that in this case, it is not just a nice statement you are making. It goes to the core of the decision you are making, your decision. And you are, whenever you say "I love you" to your wife, you are confronting yourself and asking, am I treating her right? Am I doing the right thing towards her? Am I being faithful? Am I being a loving husband? Am I being a sensitive man? Am I being nice to her? That is why sometimes it becomes difficult to say it. But it also becomes difficult to say it because of our socialization. Indeed, in certain parts of Ghana, they will tell you, never tell your wife "I love you," because it will make her too proud and too happy. As if that is a crime, you know. But that may be part of it.
From Blessed Ohima, "Uncle, please draw more light on the statement, 'You can't love what you need.'"
If love, when I say "I love you," I'm saying I'm giving you love. I am giving you love. Now, when I don't have it, if I have it, the first person to benefit it is me, because I'm the first person I should love. You are the first person you should love. So if you don't love yourself, it means you don't have it. So when you say "I love you" to another person, then you are false, because you are offering something you don't have. You know, it's like one of the stories I'll be telling is an experience I had at Kejetia in the 60s. Now, Kejetia is a place where the villages around Kumasi come to be in a big city. And sometimes people come in there, and it's the first time they've come. On this occasion, my mother and I boarded a bus that was coming from Bekwai early in the morning. And we sat in, and we sat just in front of an older man and a younger man. Apparently, they were not related. They were talking. Then we became aware of what they were saying. And at one point, the man is saying, "This bus is big. Oh, if I got one and I sent to my village, everybody will respect me." And then he said, "You know, with a bus like this, when I die, it can take everybody to the funeral. Everybody." And then the young man said, "Oh, then Papa, you are in luck, because I am the nephew of the one who owns this bus. I'm his only nephew, so everything he has is mine. So if you are interested, I can sell it to you." Oh. And right in the bus, they bargained. And the old man paid the young man. He had bought the bus. Then the young man said, I'm going to tell the driver that I have sold my uncle's bus to you. And so as soon as he finishes and drops the people, he should take you wherever you want to go. And they shook hands. Then the young man gets up, walks to the driver, bends down and whispers something to the driver. And the driver pulls to a stop right there. It wasn't a bus stop, but the driver pulls to a stop. Then as he was getting down, he shouts across to the old man, Papa, I finished with him. He understands. We'll finish everything. The guy hops off and the bus takes off. So we get to KJT. And the passengers are getting down, and my mother holds me back because my mother knew something was going to happen. And then we wait, and we are the last on the bus. And this guy walks to the driver with all his confidence, rearranges his cloth, and with a pride says, Driver, almost see we are ENCORE. And the driver asked, ENCORE, where should we go? He said, Matok bus, you bought this bus. It belongs to the government. Whenever somebody tells you I love you and doesn't love himself, he's selling you an OSA bus.
Oh dear.
Yeah, let's go.
Nathan says,
that's one of the stories. Now that I've told it, I'll put it aside. I'll tell another story. So
Nathan says, Uncle, thank you for last week's presentation. I am seriously mastering the art of zipping and unzipping my wife.
Hey.
Yeah, Nathan, I know. And you are doing very well. You are doing very well. I'm very proud of you. I've had the report already. Nathan's wife went to stand in front of him one day and say, Jadi, bottom, zip the thing out for me. Here. But the two of them get on so well, and it's such a beautiful couple to see. So I'm very proud of them.
From me, Uncle, what happens when you try hard to make time for the person you love, and the person rather doesn't want the moment, but wants to have a trivial fight?
Wants to have a trivial fight? Well, then fight quickly. Fight quickly and put it out of the way. Make peace quickly so we can go on and have our evening together. There are people who don't have a sense of time. They don't know when to let certain things go. They don't know when to pick a fight and when not to. Part of their immaturity. But if you love this person, quickly make sure your fights don't escalate. You handle them quickly so you can change the subject and go on and have a beautiful time.
Prince Willie, the gentleman who found it difficult to tell his wife, I love you. He says, Uncle, I never saw my dad telling my mom, I love you.
Yeah.
It's affecting me now to tell my wife, I love you.
I said, Prince, there's an expiry date for blaming somebody else. Now that you are married, your expiry date for blaming your father is over. Now you know better. You know, your father didn't know any better. But when we know better, we do better. So now that you know better, do better. Begin by writing her a note from time to time, if you can't say it. And every now and then say it. But Prince, I tell you, I bet you, even though you are saying you don't know how to say it, when you are in bed and you are ministering and you are getting to you're getting there, my guy, I'm sure you say it. You say it.
Say one.
You say it.
I love
so we can say, hey.
I'll buy you Osa.
Wait. How come the bachelors here know what I'm talking about? How come the bachelors here know what I'm talking about? Hey.
God gives them gifts.
You guys will need prayers. We'll need to lay hands on you. All right, let's go on, please.
Uncle, is full disclosure proof someone loves you? Because there are questions that do not need answers.
I don't understand full closure. What do you mean?
It's full disclosure.
Disclosure?
Yeah.
That's coming out fully. Yes, what does the question again?
Is full disclosure proof someone loves you? Because there are questions that do not need answers.
Yes, they do. I mean, if I give you full disclosure, if there's an issue and I, to the best of my ability and knowledge, I share with you, I tell you everything that there is there to say and everything that you need to know. I think I've done that out of love, and yes, it could spare love. Yes.
Eke Asabia says, I owe two people an apology. I have used the word wrongly twice. And Rain says, is it love when your partner only says I love you after you have said it? As in, if you don't say it, they don't say it either.
Keep saying it. If you get it back here, people say it and they don't get anything back. You say it, you get it back, and you are saying what? No. It is possible, like Prince is saying, that you may be dealing with somebody who really is struggling to say it. So when you say it, it makes it easier for the person to come back and respond. So keep saying it.
From Anthony, does loving someone and being in love with them the same?
Loving someone and being in love with them the same. I'm not too sure whether I'm missing something here. Help me, are the two not the same?
I think they're the same.
Except that, okay, no, I may be going into technical terms. So let me just say that for now. I see them as the same. There's a very subtle difference because, see, I could love somebody and not be in a relationship with that person. In that respect, I love the person, but I am not loving the person. I wonder whether I'm making clear. For one reason or the other, I love this person, I think about this person, but we're not.
To say I love you again.
Good question. Just prove yourself trustworthy. And the next time you say it, make sure you mean it. Make sure you understand the implications, the full implications of what you are saying. Don't just say it because it feels good to say it. Don't just say it because you felt you were expected to say it. Say it knowing that it's a commitment you are making as well. And once you can do that, then you've brought yourself out of the doghouse.
Anonymous on WhatsApp says, I really love today's teaching and will definitely be careful with I love you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Sledge says, Uncle, does it mean you cannot use someone's past to correct him or her from falling into another mistake or trouble?
You can't because it is not right. Somebody slipped somewhere along the line, and then you see that person being nice with another man. Say, you and men, you know your past. You slept with your boss, and that's no. No, you don't do that. Don't do that.
From Meg, how do you draw the line between emotional maturity and being indifferent?
Emotional maturity and being indifferent.
Yes.
Indifferent means love is gone. I have always said that the opposite of love is not hate. Whenever you can say to somebody, I hate you, it means you could love me as well. But the opposite of love is indifference. When I don't care what you do or say, I don't care whether you come home or you don't come home. I don't care whether you touch me or you don't touch me. I don't care. That's indifference. At that point, love is gone. Love is dead. Emotional maturity is knowing when to pick your fights and how to express yourself. Knowing how to deal with an issue so it does not escalate. That is emotional maturity.
Penty says, Uncle, I'm dating a guy for 2 months now and he does not want people to see us together. We live in the same neighborhood. He does the visiting alone and does not want me to escort him when he visits. And I also have visited him once and I have to walk all the way home alone. We attend the same church, but since we started dating, he gives excuses and he will not come to church. I want to leave him because I think he does not want me.
You may not be the only person that he is relating to. Let me guess, he comes to visit you only in the night, under cover of darkness. No, you are relating to a dangerous person. You have no business being in this relationship if you love yourself.
Uncle, my husband really cares about me, yet disrespects me and abuses me verbally, including my family. Wow. Is this love?
No, it's not. It is not. But it may be deeper, it may be even more complicated. He himself needs help. Something is eating him up, and he needs to come to, he has rage inside him. He has rage inside him, and he's got to come to the point where he deals with that. Otherwise, it will mess too many things up.
From Nesbitt. Uncle, where I am, I love you is an anthem. So I feel it's normal when someone tells me I love you. Is it wrong when you tell women you love them? Because these women will be falling in love anyhow. Hey.
Nesbitt, your contributions on this platform are always priceless. You're one of the people who bring life to this. But this time, I don't quite know what you're trying to say, so come back again.
Uncle, I'm Oluwafemi from Nigeria.
Okay, Femi.
Uncle, I'm learning a lot from you. Please, does saying I love you to your wife or girlfriend really matter, or showing genuine love to your partner matters?
Femi, wait, which is it? Which is it? Girlfriend or wife?
Oh,
Femi, in your case, which is it? Is it girlfriend or wife or both? Let's be sure. Yes, but it does matter in a relationship to express it. Express it. Express the love you feel. It helps strengthen the relationship. It also helps with the bonding, and it helps with the other party to even commit more, because once they know how much they mean to you and how much the relationship means to you, they can commit more. But Femi, I hope we are not dealing with a case of a wife and a girlfriend at the same time.
Aramide says, where do we draw the line between pointing out stuff you don't like in a relationship and trying to change the person? Or in other words, how do you make it not like you are trying to change someone by simply pointing out the issues you are uncomfortable with?
Kudie, once you marry somebody, once you fall in love with somebody, you are out of the game of trying to change them. You can't. One, it doesn't speak love. Two, it will always bring a fight. Three, it will suggest rejection. And that is not what you want. But hopefully, if the person loves you as much as you love him, he would want to change on his own for you or for himself.
And from our YouTube channel, Mama B asks, Uncle, what do you do when that person you said I love you to has stopped growing and become possessive?
Mama B, I suspect you know the answer to that question. Because it's when you outgrow the person you love, you are only looking at trouble. The person either picks up and starts growing, or the best thing for the two of you will be to go your separate ways. Because if you don't, controversy and fights and bitterness will never stop. Not. Except that all my children know, I will not tell you what I think of the person. The decision will still be your decision. So sometimes it's good, but let them meet the person in the initial stages before you make the commitment, so that you factor that in the decision making. But once you've made a commitment as an adult, they have no other choice but to respect your choice. But remember, with the experience and with the benefit of hindsight, parents can tell the real quality of a person sometimes almost on sight. And when they say it, at least you listen to them and pay attention. But let the decision still remain your decision.
Bertha says, what if you are the only one who initiates conversations and calls? He will only call if you haven't called him for 3 days or more. All he says is he's not the calling type.
So what type is he? Find out what type is he so we can play that game. Okay? So find out what type is he. He's a visiting type. Then is he visiting? Or what type is he? He's a what kind? What type? The sleepover type? Or what? Find out from him. What type is he? Nobody is a calling type. We call because we have a commitment. We call because we know we have a duty to the other person to get in touch. We call because we know that one of the prerequisites of love is bonding and getting in and staying in touch. So don't use this "I'm not a calling type" excuse. It's all right. For all you know, he's selling you an ulcer.
Rennie says, Uncle, I'm in the process of divorcing, but there is this guy that I love and admire most. Can I tell him I love him and wish to be in a relationship with him?
Is it the reason why you are divorcing? I am suspicious of anyone who is divorcing and is in love with somebody else, because then I don't trust the basis of the divorce. You are running away. So I hope this person is not the reason why the divorce is coming in. If it's not the reason, then as long as your divorce is not finalized, you cannot permit yourself and allow yourself to love anybody or to let anybody know I love you. You can't. For your own sake, you can't, because you are emotionally not in the right shape. You are not capable of making that decision. So don't make it.
From Akira, Uncle, am I being unreasonable when I run fast as soon as I see signs this love will not last? I try to leave a nice note and escape in a nice way.
No, you are afraid woman. Stop doing that. Sometimes interrogate it, so challenge it. You may be seeing signs, but you may be seeing wrong. So confirm it. Ask questions. Talk about it. Talk with the person about it. Let the person know what you're thinking, what your suspicions are. And let the person either confirm or deny it. And then after that you can. But this issue of jumping before you are pushed could lead to your own suicide. So don't always do that. Always confront the issues first. So, for instance, you don't call. You don't call until I call you. Find out, why don't you call me? Why don't you never call? Or when you call back, look at, be particular about the responses you are getting. And then question, I don't feel that warmth anymore. What's going on? Tell me what is going on. So confront it first. So that when you are moving out, you have evidence, you have the right information, not your feeling. Because your feelings can be very, very wrong. Your feelings can be born out of your own past and may have nothing to do with the reality.
Uncle, can you love your ex with brotherly love?
Can you love who?
Your ex with brotherly love.
Where was the brotherly love when the person was becoming your ex? Or at that time it was sisterly love.
That time it was romantically love.
Stop deceiving yourself. Stop deceiving yourself. If you're in a new relationship, please let not your feelings and your relationship with your ex create a burden for this new relationship. It's not worth it. All right. I think our time is done. Come again. You have a few questions.
No, not me. There are a few questions.
All right. Please, can I, with your permission, I'll take 3 more questions, and then after that, I promise you, we'll cut this feed. Okay. So let's go.
From Sandra, is it advisable to tell your current guy all about your past relationships?
No, it is not. When you meet somebody, your past, especially if it's still your past, is gone. Because listen, your past is part of what has made you attractive, to him. But don't go back to it. He may not have the maturity to handle your past.
Okay. Ayomi Becca says, Uncle, please, I'm meeting this guy for 1 year now.
I'm dating.
Easy. Uncle said I should read things as I see them and not question them. Uncle, please.
Kaute,
I am dating this guy.
You read this the way you want to read it, and you boss yourself into that corner. You would always read anything
the way
exactly that way. So now go.
This one is a threat to.
Oh yes, it is.
Uncle, please, I'm dating this guy for 1 year now, but he didn't show me where he's staying. But he knows where I stay, and I only see him when he comes to work. He always says he's having an issue with his landlord. What should I do?
Wow. Okay. Has he introduced you to any of his people? He may not have taken you to his house, but have you met his family? Have you met his parents? Have you met any of his siblings? Do they know you? 1 year is long enough for him to begin to introduce you to a few people. If he goes to church, do the people in the church know you in that relationship? So you have a bit of homework to do. But on the face of it, I smell a fish, a rotten fish.
Uncle, she's back to say, yes, I tried, but I couldn't find out. And all his friends didn't know his house.
Are you sure you're not dating a ghost? This person can vanish from your life and you won't know anything about him. Ask some more specific questions. And if possible, now, let him define the future. And if he says you have a future, take him to your people as well. Let your people ask the rest of the questions. But secure yourself. If you go to church, let your pastor meet this person. Let your pastor also ask questions. You need to let a person commit himself, not just to you, but to other people who matter to you.
From great. Testimony, Uncle, how can an attention-seeking partner be handled?
We're all attention-seeking partners. Just give the attention. Unless this is an overly clingy kind of person, then in that case it's not attention. The person is being clingy. He's being needy. And people like that are very difficult to relate to. Well, thank you very much for staying with us.
Just a side comment.
Come again?
Kwabena Lloyd, side comment.
Okay.
Kwabena Lloyd says, Uncle, you dey spoil my business.
Lloyd, I'm not sorry about this. I'm happy. I hope you follow the business up. Well, thank you very much for staying with us. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for asking the question. Thank you for the investment of data and time. I appreciate it very much. And God be with you. God stay with you. God protect you and keep you. And God bless you in your life and in your relationships. We'll see you, God willing, next week.
I'm losing control on girls and fine, but them no fine pass you. Them want do the do, but them no do pass you. Jamaican girls them high, but them no high pass you. You make a one trip and cool, you know you would ever cool. Ade, mananti sa. Ade, mananti. Baby, would you believe if I tell you say you're the one for me, no one can take your place. Oh, would you believe if I tell you say you're the
Hello, they call me Uncle WHYTE. I am the CEO of Roman Productions, but I'm also very much committed to helping you become your better self. Your better self. You see, nobody goes into a love relationship to be miserable. We go into a love relationship to make each other happy